Welcome to Roundtable is Magic, and boy oh boy do we have a show for you today. Look at these contestants. We have some amazing contestants. Up first in the Toonmobile is ToonKriticY2K, the cult of personality. Following up in second place in the Rainbow Mobile is Lightning Bliss.
You will eat my rainbow dust.
Coming up from behind, straggling a little bit, it's the combination of Golden Fox and Keyframe.
Who let Inspector Gadget be our announcer?
I don't know, but either or, eat my dust!
A little bit ways behind, but still kind of hanging in there, is Voice of Reason.
Play my crew chief.
And what's the...
Thank you, Sega.
Oh, what's this? What's this? Oh, here she comes, spinning around the turn, looking to make a comeback. It's our special guest star, Mad Munchkin.
Drat and double drat.
I have never done an intro for that.
Paying attention. That was a quote from Wacky Races. Is Mary Sue Muttley?
Oh my god, I can just see that happen.
I can actually see that.
Mad Dastardly and Mary Muttley.
Oh goodness.
No, I am not trying that.
Oh, jeez. Anyway.
Either way, welcome to Roundtable is Magic, where we occasionally talk about ponies. What episode are we talking about today, my dear cult of personality, Brotato Chip ToonKriticY2K?
Right, 2K. Okay, so today we are discussing The Cart Before the Ponies, an episode that has just managed to make everyone just stick their thumbs down really far. So is it? I don't think this episode is as bad as everyone's saying it is, but well, I guess we'll find out here. So why don't we get this started off with Keyframe, who wanted to go first?
Oh yeah, hi guys, Keyframe here. I didn't like this episode at all. In fact, I viscerally despise this episode. But there's one thing that I will say that I liked, but it will retroactively go into what I disliked later on. This is I'm going to say this. I was joking around in the pre-show, but I will say this. This is the best CMC episode so far this season. And
Wow.
That's all I have to say.
Alrighty then.
I think I'm going to pass it off to... Look, everyone's expecting the expected of me. But today, because I'm trying to be calm to hold down what I'm going to be saying later on, I think I should act like a proper person, so I'm going to pass it off to my Scottish biscuit. Mad Munchkin, what did you like about this episode, dear?
Thank you, my little Irish cookie.
Thank you.
This episode, what I liked about the episode, it has ponies in it, so that's a good thing.
Yeah.
I should also mention we can only pick one thing we liked and one thing we disliked, so I probably should have explained the rules. You say one thing you like, and then you pass it on to someone else, and then it comes back to you, and you say one thing you didn't dislike, so... Did dislike Dirk. Anyway.
She told me the rules before I said the one thing I liked about it, but okay.
Yeah, it has ponies in it. I had to Google what soapbox derby was. Because I'm guessing that's very much an American thing. I don't know, but we definitely don't have it here.
There's too much peat around you to do soapbox derbies.
There's too much what?
Peat. Like the swampy grass.
Oh no, I live near the coast. I don't know where, yeah. But no, we have the England has the Red Bull soapbox derby thing, but that's the closest thing I could get, but it's not really a race or anything. It's kind of more just, you know how they had the creative carts thing in this episode? That's basically what the Red Bull derby thing is.
Yeah, is that the one where they push the carts off the deck and see if it'll fly?
Yeah, to see, it's that, and then how far they can go as well. There's the flying one, and then there's the actual one where it is actual cars. So to see how far they can go and blah blah blah. But they always have to look as crazy as possible. It's not about how fast you go. really. It's just how much you can stand out. But yeah, I had to Google what it was, so I felt terrible. But yeah. What did I like about it? Yeah, I'm going to stick with what I originally said. It has ponies in it.
But Mary Sue's not in it. I like ponies.
Really, I couldn't tell.
I like cereal.
And I like potatoes.
I like cereal.
I like chocolate milk.
I like cereal.
Like chocolate milk.
Okay, well, Maddie, if that's all you like, just pass it off to any of our lovely contestants.
I'm going to pass it on to my favorite alicorn in the world.
Hey!
Yeah, Blissey.
Yay! Hear that, haters? Hear that, haters?
I really like her hair. Okay, I'm done. I'm out.
So what did you like about this episode, Lightning Blitz?
You know, I'll try my very darn Tartarus not to get salty, but I like that it inspired me to make go-kart artwork for the analysis community.
That's true. We did get something pretty cool.
I mean, me and Zach, we were gonna partner up, and our cart is called the Crimson Bolt.
And it does look pretty cool, I'm not gonna lie.
I imagine Keyframe would have a car like Speed Racer, and it would have like the oil slick in the back and everything. And it would be... I think it would be called the Ship Sinker.
The Ship Sinker.
And it's just like I have like a double thing, so I can like knock A and Y and Golden Fox's carts from the side and just punch them off the field.
I'm still trying to figure out what my cart would look like.
But is that what you liked about the episode, Lissy?
That is what I liked about the episode, that inspired me to make analysis go-karts, and that Mad Munchkin and Mary Sue would have one, and like Doc and Silver would be in one, and of course Josh and Ike would be in one. It's like, it's shipping fuel. You gotta admit it. Oh, I made a car pun. Shipping fuel.
Fuel. Ah, you're so clever. You're so fanny.
Someone in the chat said, hey, before we move on to the next person, someone in the chat said, if we were doing ponies as wacky racers, A and Y would be the Red Max, Maddie and Mary Sue would be Luke and the Blubber Bear. And also, apparently A and Y ships Mad Key. And I think that's just because the name sounds cool. We're the Mad Key.
Mad! Madam Key!
Madame Key. Okay.
Anyway, who do you pass it off to, Bliss?
I will drive this off to, Voice.
Alright, I think I liked. I like the Speed Racer references. During the song, which I'm pretty sure people will talk about in the things he didn't like, I was sort of geeking out when they did the checkerboard, the checkered flag crossing bit.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I like that.
Is that it?
I guess I'll say. When it comes to Ed Valentine stories, is the pacing was actually a lot better. I'll say this compared to both Flight to the Finish and
Three's a
Crowd. Pacing was a lot better. Like it got right to the conflict at the beginning. It didn't take 11 minutes.
Fair enough.
All right, I'll pass it off to.
Better pass it to Goldie. I think he really wanted to go next.
Yeah, go. All
right.
We're gonna pass it off to the gold guy, British Ninja. Ha! I was able to do it.
Ha ha ha. All right.
Okay.
So I will to give credit where credit is due. It does have the topic about how. So basically, you just had these. You have the adult characters who are so carried away because of what their past childhood was that they don't think about what's best for the child. And the child does have problems trying to consolidate with the adult. And half the time they're ignored and they're being pushed into something they don't like to do. And this often happens to a lot of kids. That is something that I can give the episode credit for. I just think that there's just something about it that could have worked in a different angle, and that's what I think hurts the episode, but I'm not going to talk about the negative yet. But at least it has, something in there that kids can somewhat have a connection with. But that's like one very little thing at this point. It plays a role in the episode, but I just feel like it could have been done better. But regardless,
That's the thing you like.
yeah, that's the thing I liked. I'm gonna pass it off to who's left over.
Me.
Toon is the only one.
Okay, Toon, you're next.
Alright, also, yes, we have an influx of people following, so thank you to all of you who are following now. So what did I like about this episode? I can't say it had ponies in it. For this...
I stole your joke.
Freaking red team. Anyway, yeah, actually, this is funny. Look at that voice. You actually have a red team person on your side now.
Yeah.
So now it's 4-2. Okay, so what did I like about this episode? Well, the only thing I even liked about this episode is the concept of it. I think the whole Applewood Derby thing could have been done better, but I like the idea behind it. I like the looks of the carts. I liked that this gave the chance for the CMC and their sister figures to pop in. That I thought was a good thing. That's really the only good thing that I like. So can I say what I didn't like then?
Yeah, we're going
Shoot.
to...
Ooh, I like what that message says.
Okay. What did I not like about this episode? 4 words. No Mario Kart references. You had so many chances. I was half expecting. Oh, are we gonna get banana peel? No. Are we gonna get a turtle shell? No. Can we get just something? Can we get a mushroom? Can we get oil slick? Can we make this interesting other than it just being a downhill race? Can we make this any more interesting? Oh, well, Rarity has the thing on her carts which, blocks other people from getting in, which I'm pretty sure is, I don't know, cheating. So
And oil slick is not...
well, shut up. No. No, I didn't like the fact that they had this episode had many different opportunities to drop references, but it didn't. And I know that seems like a weak pick, but I'm thinking to myself, maybe a few references would have made this episode a little bit more fun, because the biggest reference that we had from the last episode was the body pillow. So what could this episode have to top that? Apparently nothing. Okay then, this episode sucks. Because
No
there are no
initial
Mario
damage.
Kart references in it.
Or Initial D.
No,
I
none
could
of
just
that.
imagine them going all speed boy.
I mean, okay, to be fair, they did include some Speed Racer and Wacky Races references. Okay, I will give them that. But you didn't include any Mario Kart stuff. Come on. Would it have killed you for would it have killed you for Rainbow Dash to eat a banana and toss the banana peel out? Would it have killed Dash to take Tank and use it as a projectile? Oh well, actually, it still would have been fun though. You couldn't have painted Tank blue and put wings on it and then just go with that? No? Oh, okay. Whatever you say. Coolio. I'm gonna pass this back to Fox. This episode sucked for me.
Okay. My issue with the episode is the humor. I would have to specify one because I'm only allowed to pick one thing. There's a lot of things that ticked me off in terms of its humor. The part that got under my skin the most was when Scootaloo was trying to design her cart that has chicken features on it. And this is because it roots all the way back to the Stairmaster, which for those who don't know, I vividly hated the episode. It's the worst episode for me of season 1. And one of which includes Scootaloo, Scootaloo. Okay, so you made a reference to a chicken. We get it. It wasn't that funny, and they're throwing that in there, and they're hammering it in so much.
But Golden.
No.
There's so many amazing works that reference this, like Double Rainbow.
No, I'm sorry. The whole chicken thing was so dumb. I would even go as far as to say that it nearly jabs pretty badly towards Scootaloo's inability to fly, because chickens don't fly.
Well, your opinion is incorrect.
Oh dear.
Oh no.
Okay, you can sense the irony in that sentence from the first thing.
I would point everything else out in terms of its humor, but like I said, I can only pick one thing, unless
You're
you guys...
a communist.
Wow. Already, then you're a communist if you hate this episode.
piece of advice to all of those little kitties in the chat. When you can't curse, call them commies. Anyway, is that all you had to say, baby? About
like-
chicken?
I want to mention like other things because I said just the humor.
Say just say
Fine.
for the others.
Fine, pass it off to the others.
Voice.
Whoever it was who went after me or before me.
Oh, you
Be
sound
voice.
so depressed. No one loves me because I sucks.
Oh, put it on the baby face, Goldie. That totally works for me. Stop it.
Thank you,
So
Captain Butter.
It's Voice's turn.
Yeah, voice, go ahead.
This episode was so paint by numbers. Like this, like from the second they got together, I think Tony mentioned this during the pre-show that this is basically Showstoppers 2.0.
It is Showstoppers 2.0. It's the same exact concept, too. The CMC decided to get into a situation that we know what they're good at, but they're going to go against what they're good at because for comedy's sake. Same thing with Showstoppers, same thing with here, only much worse.
Somebody just donated $50.
Well, we're getting ANY in the post show.
Yep.
Oh boy.
But anyway, this needed to take a risk, and it didn't. Like,
What was the risk?
This was the. Sorry, say again.
What was the risk?
No, they didn't take any risks
Oh.
with this episode. It was very, very safe.
By the book.
Yeah, and by the book. Oh, like I needed to have someone do something different than, like predictable outcome followed by predictable action followed by predictable conclusion. Although that's all I can say because this was
Episode.
I'll say it's not as bad as say Applejack's Day Off since it wasn't really padded. So
I think this is the worst episode we've seen so far, but that's just me personally.
okay. So anyway, passing off to Bliss.
Still newbie dash for me, but
Alright.
regardless.
Alrighty. The adults were jerks!
Yep.
Oh, so Appaloosa's most
The
wanted?
adults were jerks! The adults were jerks! The adults were jerks! I mean, okay. At least Rarity had some grudge to want to perform in the race. I get it. Applejack was just... and Rainbow Dash just... Okay.
Breathe. Bliss.
What makes me
How
Somebody get her a paper bag.
what makes me even more angry is that the CMC tried to talk to them, but they bluntly ignored them. And then at the very end, the adults say, "Well, why didn't you tell us?" And I am screaming at the screen, "You left it!"
Ignorance is bliss.
Yeah.
Literally.
You okay there, Blissy? Do you need a milkshake?
I want 2 milkshakes.
Oh, let's get you a malt. Is that all you had against the episode?
Done.
Okay, let's move it on to our special guest. Maddie, what did you not like about the episode?
How long have you got?
One
We-
thing.
We've only been 10 minutes in, haven't
We're only
we?
about 15-20 minutes into this, so
No, trust me, my little spiel at the end is going to pad this out to an hour.
Okay.
Okay,
Alright.
we'll wait.
okay.
I'm
do you,
as good as a filibuster as anyone in Congress.
what
So,
do you
not at
got,
all.
Maddie?
Like I said earlier, I had to Google what soapbox derby racing was, but I'm not going to hold that against the episode anyway, because how can you make a cart from a log in one day? I'm
Like that an hour.
I'm not buying that. Just or
Oh my god, no.
What?
Somebody quoted Confused Matthew.
Oh, jeez.
yeah.
No.
Anyway,
Just go ahead,
Continue,
Maddie.
Matt. I'm sorry.
I see what you're saying,
Remember,
Maddie.
I have a pink alicorn on my side, and I am not afraid to use it. Interrupt me again, and it's going to happen. I'm kidding.
Yeah, let's not interrupt.
Or I might. But Blissey was saying that the adults were jerks! Well, yeah. Why all three of them were jerks, I don't know. Why not just have the story focus, if they're going to have some kind of problem in the regard of an adult not listening to a kid and just taking over the project, why not just focus on one of the teams and not have the same problem affect all three? Like, why? And the whole montage during when the kids were coming in and making their own changes to the carts, and then the adults were just coming in and then just changing them or ripping the stuff off. I mean, how heartless is that? Like, that's not what these characters are. They're smarter than this. And I'm being told not to use Mary Sue.
You're not the boss of me. I can use Mary Sue all I want.
Anyway, this episode was the first episode of MLP where I was very aware I was watching a show that is made for kids. You know, like, it was just so pandering and just... I just can't put it into words. I wish I could just rage about it like Blissey just did. Just, I can only watch this episode once. I am not watching it again. I didn't even watch it before this podcast. I was like, nah, I don't need to. I know what these guys are going to think about this episode. It was a bad episode. And anyone that does like it should feel bad.
Okay, like, let's not take it that far. If there's anybody who actually likes the episode...
It's a joke.
I know that it's a joke.
We're just making it clear because some people don't know how to take a joke. Cough, cough. Actually, before we get to a key, by the way, Maddie, was that all you had to say?
Yes.
Okay.
It's fine.
Okay, I actually want to give, if I may, I was joking about the Mario Kart referencing. I actually came up with a legit reason why I didn't like this episode.
One more thing. Sorry. One more thing. One more thing.
What?
During the flashback that Rainbow Dash had for the Cloud Derby thing, I was like, you had a chance to make an obvious reference to Mario Kart Rainbow Road. And they did it!
Yeah, see, that was another thing that bugged me.
I honestly thought they were going to do it. I'm like, they're going to do Rainbow Road. They're going to be there. Ah, they did it! Are they insane? What?
Anyway,
Okay,
so
Make
my
your legit-
real... Yeah, before we
I'm
get to
working
key...
at the seams.
Before we get to key, my real reason why I did not like this episode. How Rainbow Dash, Rarity, and Applejack were acting in this episode. They remind me of sports moms, or sport dads, whichever, that basically are just like, yeah, our kids are in this, but you know, we don't care because we want to beat the others and stuff. It's like, we're all cool, we're going to use our kids to compete or something like that. And I know that's not directly what they were doing, but it honestly felt like that. And then it just turned into the adults fighting against each other when the kids are the ones actually supposed to be going in there. It's like if there's a soccer match and the kids are like sucking, so the parents go out and they start playing soccer in the middle of the game. They're just like, yeah, this is how we do it. And it just it ruins
It's like
the fun.
those beauty contest moms that try to live vicariously through their kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Bliss
Now-
brought up a good point, though, because Rarity was the one who actually had motive in this. Rainbow Dash is just competitive. Applejack is being an idiot. Let's put it at that. I'm glad, though, in the end they were actually able to get things resolved, but this was a pain to sit through. Anyway, Key...
Actually, well, Toon, you just reminded me of Stan Marsh in that one episode of South Park. Oh, I'm sorry, I thought this was America!
Oh, God. Oh, that's low. Alright, so...
Here we go. Showtime.
And now we come to the end with Key, who has hyped this up. So, Key, what is one thing you didn't like about this episode?
This better be worth it.
Okay, folks. There's a reason why I picked myself to be at the end, and it's because I feel like this coming from me and me actually being patient enough to wait for the end shows how much this means to me. I mean, this episode, when I was watching it, I didn't laugh once. I didn't smile once. I was watching it with the blankest face I think I could ever have. Something that I want to point out, and this goes into my point, the thing I don't like about the episode, is that throughout this podcast, I've been hearing people compare this episode to other episodes. the adults are jerks, like in Appaloosa's Most Wanted. This is basically Showstoppers 2.0, so on and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
I want to point something out.
Yeah.
The adults were jerks.
I said that.
Yeah, the adults were... No, this goes into my point, because that's not my point. The adults were jerks in Appaloosa's Most Wanted.
Yeah.
But in return, we got some of the best representations of the CMC, especially with how they handle treble shoes.
Mm-hmm.
This episode was Showstoppers 2.0.
Mhm.
But at least Showstoppers 2.0 gave us the resolution of some comedy and at least finding out what the initial talents of the CMC were. There was some significance to it. I say that this is the best CMC episode of the season so far, but that just shows how bad the CMC episodes of this are. Because you know what's the running thing with CMC episodes in this season? They're boring. I think the most ultimate sin for an episode of a show is that it doesn't ignite any emotion. Newbie Dash. I hate Newbie Dash. But at least it ignites an emotion. At least it starts up a discussion, an aftermath discussion that I really don't like how it turned out. But at least it started up an emotion and a discussion. On Your Marks used to be my least favorite episode of this season because it... Can you not squeak the bed?
Sorry.
Because it made me so bored. And it made me feel absolutely nothing. Applejack's Day Off made me feel more than this episode. And that episode makes me mad because it's paint by numbers talking down to kids. If this episode's like a fusion of On Your Marks and that, it's boring, it's paint by numbers. And you know, kids deserve better than that. They do not deserve to be talked down to, and they don't deserve to be bored out of their minds and waste 22 minutes of their lives that they could be doing something else, making their own gosh darn soapbox derby, whatever. And you know what's the ultimate sin of this episode? Because it's so boring?
Mm-hmm.
This episode was so boring, so uninteresting and unencouraging, I didn't even watch it!
Wait, what?
I didn't watch this episode at all. I still haven't watched it. I rused you!
Wait, what? Are you kidding
telling
me?
What?
that you were lying to me when...
Yep! And A&Y told me to.
Oh my.
And why?
Are you
Good night.
serious?
It's so meal.
So wait a minute.
that
so it
was evil.
so wait a minute.
Irish
Wow.
biscuit. Irish biscuit. I am very disappointed in you. Very disappointed. Why did you do this to me? The podcast I joined, I had to sit through this episode, which means you had to sit through this episode as well.
Well, you know, Maddie, we could
No
sit
matter
through
how
it together if
painful it is for you.
we could sit through this episode together if we did a collab.
We're not talking about collabs.
I
I am so behind.
rused you, audience.
I am
I
so
rused
behind.
you. Just saying, guys. Just saying.
I am so
Did I do
behind
good?
in collab episodes. Oh my god. Never mind.
Did I do good? Did I?
Yes.
The Oscar goes to Key.
And Mary Sue takes it away.
Oh no.
Because it's not served.
Key, what gives? You
You
sit.
wax.
All right, hang on. If anyone's taking an Oscar here, it's totally gonna be me. All right.
Cartoons, get the flop out of here.
Fine.
No, guys in the audience, that's the joke. I just felt I felt no encouragement to watch this episode because everything that I've heard is just how boring it was, and I thought it would just be funny for me to not watch the episode and see what I can do with it because I honestly just didn't feel like watching the episode because I've been so busy with work. Learn to take a joke, people. It's all in humor. Jesus Christ. But the Oscar goes to Keyframe. I mean, it's not like the show is story driven and I need to watch it, so.
Emmy, Golden Globe, not an Oscar though.
So I guess that's how we're ending this. Okie dokie.
Well, I got the thing in the Skype chat.
Oh yes, we didn't do this in the last episode, but yes, here we have a chart thingy, which I think we haven't used for a while. But yes, this is our ranking. So where do we put this episode?
I have it 10th, but below.
I think I have it 12.
I only put it above Newbie Dash.
Wow, a lot of us put it right near the bottom.
So does this mean this is the new least favorite episode of the season?
You know what? I'm gonna put it at number 1. It was the best episode.
You didn't even watch the episode, Key.
Exactly. How can I hate? Just like the audience says, how can I hate it if I haven't watched it? So it obviously means I love it. Because the internet only thinks. Because the internet only thinks in extremes.
Oh, you were saying, Maddie?
Key, we are no longer friends because I had to watch this episode for this podcast.
I had to sit through it yesterday. We had to suffer through it.
You guys know. You have choices. You are grown men and women. You can choose not to watch an episode of a children's cartoon.
Yeah, but this is kind of our job to do a podcast.
We could just talk about something else. Magic is something that's inclusive to every fandom.
Actually, hang on a sec. I'm gonna pop back in here, if only to say, hey, Mary Sue, you know where to call me.
Maddie,
Nope.
I'm confused! It's okay, you can just run away. It's fine. Everyone hits on you, no one ever hits on me!
I mean,
You know what's
you're pretty
sadder?
cute too, but like, Mary Sue, I mean, wow.
Do you know it's still, like, you know what's sadder?
What?
There's still a lot of things we didn't like about this episode.
I didn't like that I wasn't in it.
So much so.
Can I say more about the humor issue?
No.
Alright.
We don't want to
we
go
got a
over.
while.
We can probably talk about it on like the post show, but
This is the shortest one we've ever done.
Hey, I'm happy. Look, the fact that it's so short, going by what you guys have said, the fact that it's so short basically exemplifies the problems with this episode, is that there's so little to say besides I don't like it.
pretty much. So we've all put this pretty much near the bottom. Maddie, would you say this is your least favorite episode?
I think I would have to say no. I think Applejack's Day Off is probably my least favorite of this season so far, which is why I haven't reviewed it, because I make a point of not actually reviewing episodes I didn't like. So yeah.
Fair enough.
Or I'll just make a fan picture for it. For last week's episode, I loved, because I am now in love with Quibbler.
Ah, Quibble Pants, we love you.
I miss Patton
I'm calling him
Oswalt.
Quibbler. He's my Quibbler.
Can we make Patton Oswalt like a freaking permanent actor for this? Can we make Quibble Pants a permanent character, please?
He'd be a nice sidekick for Daring Do.
He would like rip apart all the cards. Hold on, this card doesn't look right. Da-da-da-da-da. Hold on, this card looks amazing because da-da-da. Oh, this card's unrealistic.
He's a Deadpool.
Oh, I love Quibble. Anyway, before we end this, how about we just go around and say one thing we'd rather do than watch this episode again? And that is my question for the chat. If you're watching this and have made it this far, go ahead and put down your question, which is, what would you rather do than watch Cart Before the Ponies again? Go ahead. Who wants to? Don't all jump in at once.
I would watch this episode than watch this episode.
Yeah,
Fox?
you better get right on that.
And thus I created a paradox. It's not like I review episodes anyway.
Rather watch Barney than watch this
I don't
episode
review
again.
episodes.
Voice?
I would rather watch the first 6 episodes of Friendship is Witchcraft than sit through the Cart Before the Ponies again.
Burn.
Now keep in mind there's one good episode in there, so that...
Fox?
I'd rather play Kaizo Mario while eating habaneros than watch this episode.
Maddie, what would you rather do?
I'd rather watch the Batgirl prologue in the Killing Joke movie 160 times over and over and over than watch this episode.
You know what I'd rather do than watch this episode?
What?
Drink a 2-liter bottle of Coke in one sitting.
Key don't. Key don't.
Don't.
I mean, we all. If anyone has not heard that story, you clearly don't watch anything that involves me and ANY on live streams.
And for me, I'd rather learn how to speak French than watch this episode again.
Tu les parles na français?
Omelette du fromage.
Tu besoin de omelette du fromage? I basically said you need a cheese omelet.
Apparently, Mary Sue omelette du fromage? I don't know. That's the best I could come up with.
Mary Sue is a cheese omelet?
I didn't get to say one.
Okay, what about you, Lissy?
Aww.
I cannot believe I'm saying this because it's making my heart beat up a little bit. So I'd rather stare at screenshots of the Mortal Kombat alien than rewatch this episode again.
Would you rather
let me
play
look up
Mortal Kombat
screenshots.
X with the alien?
No! I draw the line somewhere, Zach! You jerk.
Here, can I change my answer?
Yes.
What's your
Or
answer?
I'd rather watch a review of this episode made by Mary Sue than watch this actual episode.
Oh my god, this episode was the best episode. I invented go-karts back when I thought, you know what would be better than a cart? A go-kart.
Oh my god!
We
So
could
it
make
always
go-karts.
starts in a similar way to Chester A. Bum videos.
Oh my god, like this was like the best video ever. This was like the best episode ever. I loved it, except I wasn't.
You should subscribe.
and everything.
Yeah. All right.
Maybe
So.
stuff unscripted is not as funny as the stuff that's actually scripted.
Very true.
So, join us next week on Sunday. We have not figured out the exact time, but next Sunday we will be talking about the episode simply entitled 28 Pranks Later. I'm not going to say anything about this episode, but all you will know from me is that I am physically dreading this episode.
Who will be our special guest next week, Tim?
Our special guest who won the poll will be Tyan Daga.
We get the Canadians.
I use antlers in all of my decorating. Yeah.
Or
I have to
Tyan
do that
Daga.
every time I say Tyan Daga's name. I just have to. It's like
Thank you for joining us on Roundtable is Magic, the show where we're totally professional and we hit all the required points.
Oh yeah,
There's
totally.
the person that never watched the bloody episode.
Anyway, thank you all for stopping by. As always, go ahead and leave your comments below. Key, if they've made it this far, what should they put down? Hashtag what?
Hashtag he needs to watch this episode, but not really.
No, hashtag Key needs to watch this episode.
Hashtag Key can do whatever she wants because she's a grown woman who don't need no man.
Hashtag Fox wears the pants in the relationship.
Hashtag Mad Key. There we go. Put that in.
Hashtag Mad Key. Let's go with that.
Hashtag Becky! I ship it!
Hashtag Mary Sue is the best alicorn.
Yes. All the hashtags.
So, if you weren't here to see this live, you can go ahead. If you go to my Twitch and you click that watch button below, that'll let you know whenever I do live streams. I do them on Tuesdays, Fridays, and Sundays. Join us Tuesday when we get back to a gaming live stream. For all those who followed, well, we did get money. So for those who followed and donated, you all are awesome. So, with that being said. From all of us at Roundtable's Magic, we bid thee adieu, and we hope you have an awesome rest of your day.
Look both ways before you brush your teeth.
Always be aware of your surroundings.